What if time isn't a straight line, but a bridge? What if some stories begin decades before they're lived, and love, when it's real, finds a way to write itself again? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Yet there are moments when destiny hides behind coincidence and sends us signals wrapped in memories, dreams, and longing. Most people think love is something you find, but maybe love is something that finds you. In different times, with different faces, until you're ready to recognize it. And that's exactly what happened to her. An ordinary woman who found a letter written 50 years in the future, signed with her own name. From that moment on, time stopped being a clock and became a character. And this story, more than a romance, is a reminder. Love doesn't follow calendars, it follows destiny. One quiet afternoon, when time seemed to move lazily, she stumbled upon something that would forever change her destiny. An old yellowed letter hidden inside a forgotten book. The curious thing? The letter was addressed to her, but dated 50 years in the future. It felt like a trick of the universe. Or perhaps a calling. It's strange how love and time often speak a language reason can't translate. As she read, her heart beat faster, as if it recognized something. Every word whispered memories she didn't remember living, yet somehow belonged to her. The paper smelled like nostalgia and mystery, and the writer described a reunion that hadn't happened, at least not yet. It was as if love itself had sent her a coded message, written in ink and destiny. Maybe you felt something like that before. That sense of déjà vu when you hear an old song, or the strange chill when you meet someone who feels familiar. Sometimes, time isn't a straight line, but a circle. And certain stories come back when we're ready to read them. And in that moment, holding that letter, she realized that nothing happens by accident, and that this discovery was only the beginning. There was something haunting about that letter. It spoke of a love so deep it seemed to cross centuries, a love she had never lived, yet already missed. The author seemed to know her soul in ways that defied logic, as if time itself had conspired to unite them. Sometimes destiny writes stories on pages that haven't been opened yet, and this was one of them. In the days that followed, she began to feel a quiet presence beside her, invisible yet undeniably real. Her heart reacted to little things, an old melody, the scent of wet paper, the echo of a distant bell. Everything reminded her of a love that never happened, or perhaps one that once did. Love and memory are like rivers. They may change course, but they always find their way back to the sea. Have you ever noticed how some feelings arrive before the moment exists? Sometimes, the heart recognizes what the eyes have not yet seen. It's like dreaming of someone you've never met, and days later, crossing paths with them. Coincidence? Maybe. But some call it destiny. That invisible thread made of dreams and longing that slowly begins to awaken something ancient inside us. Her nights began to shimmer with strange light, as if time had decided to visit her in her sleep. She dreamed of a man she'd never met, yet whose eyes seemed to pierce through the impossible. There was in him a calm, steady love, the same love described in the letter, and with every dream, the sense of reunion grew stronger. Maybe dreams are just letters sent by the soul, addressed to the future. She started writing everything down each morning. Details, gestures, even the faint scent of old wood that surrounded him. Each night felt like a new chapter of a story unfolding between sleep and memory. Psychologists might call it projection, but she knew better. Who hasn't dreamed of an impossible love, only to wake up feeling it was real? Dreams that carry emotion are memories of something that refuses to fade. And the more she dreamed, the more destiny seemed to play along. Little signs in her days. A word, a melody, a face in the crowd, whispered the same thing. You will meet him. It was as if love itself was trying to cross time to manifest. And deep down, one question began to echo. Is it possible to love someone before you've met them? One morning, she returned to the newsstand where she had found the letter, but everything was gone. The stand was closed, the shelves were empty, and the old bookseller who used to smile and tell stories seemed to have vanished from existence. The wind carried the scent of old paper, and with it, a piece of her memory. It was as if time itself had decided to erase its own footprints. She searched for answers, asked around, retraced her steps, looked for clues. But the more she searched, the more the emptiness grew. The letter had vanished, yet the feeling remained, like an echo of love and time refusing to be forgotten. Sometimes, what disappears from sight is what clings to the soul the most. And deep down, she knew, the real mystery wasn't on the paper, but within her. It's funny how the universe works in silence. What feels like loss is often preparation for rediscovery. Nothing is truly lost. It just changes form until we understand its meaning. And in that absence, she began to realize maybe the letter had fulfilled its purpose, and that the reunion it promised was still waiting, somewhere in time. Years passed like pages carried by the wind. Life went on, quietly, almost as if trying to make her forget. But fate doesn't forget. One ordinary afternoon, the impossible finally happened. He was there, the same eyes from her dreams, the same smile described in that mysterious letter. It was as if time itself had come full circle to keep its promise. Their first meeting was brief, almost shy, yet deeply familiar. As if every gesture had been rehearsed in another lifetime. They spoke about simple things, work, the weather, their dreams. But words weren't really needed. There was a silent understanding between them, made of memories and longing that didn't belong to that moment. And then he mentioned it. A letter he had once received, written by someone with her name. Everything suddenly made sense. Somehow, love had crossed time to bring them together. The letters they each wrote, in different years, in different lives, had met somewhere between past and future, building a bridge only destiny could create. And in that moment, she understood. True love doesn't obey time, it commands it. Because when something is meant to be, not even eternity can stand in its way. Maybe you've never found a letter written for you from the future. But how many times has destiny sent you signs you ignored? How many coincidences had to happen before you realized that some people don't just appear, they return? Love, dreams, and memories are invisible threads weaving together what we call life. So, think about it. Is the love of your life still ahead of you? Or have you already met and let it slip away? Are your longings just memories or messages from another time, asking to be read again? Sometimes what we call the end is only the pause between one letter and the next.